This right here is the Canon EOS 1N, and it sure does look like Canon's mid-2000s professional grade digital cameras with that classic line of EF mount lenses, doesn't it? Well, it's actually a 35mm film camera from Canon that is EF mount, fully autofocus, can shoot up to 3 frames per second on film, has aperture priority modes, has double exposure modes built in, you can use strobes with it, you can use a flash with it. You see where I'm going with it, right? This camera right here was one of the building blocks that led Canon to that classic 5D camera. This camera must have been an absolute professional's dream back in the 90s, and it still is today. I use it for all of my professional gigs. I put a 24-70 on there, and I'm able to shoot 35mm film with autofocus as if it was digital, with a camera that I can trust to get the job done, have everything in focus, have everything properly exposed. This thing is amazing. I've only ever used a 24-70 on it. What if we used one of Canon's most iconic, beautiful lenses, the 50mm f1.2, and we shoot some portraits at night on one of my favorite films to use at night, Cinestill 800T, which is a tungsten balanced film. It's perfect for nighttime. Three, two, one. 3, 2, 1. The light we're using today is just this DJ uplight, and my friend Joe Bunn gave it to me, who's a DJ. It's actually an uplight that DJs would use in a club or at a wedding or something. It has 30 built-in colors that you can just set to constant light in that color. It lasts for like 30 hours. It outputs incredibly bright light that it throws really far, so it's perfect for little photo shoots like this. I haven't shot with a 50 in so long. I feel like these first couple images, I was definitely a little stiff, but we'll see where it goes. f1.2 is so shallow for 35mm. It's something I've personally never experimented with. Dude, your outfit kind of matches like the colors of this place. What if you just lean like your back into the wall and then stick your feet out a little bit so you're like, stick your feet out a little bit more so you're really leaning into it? Yeah, just do that. Whatever feels natural. That's it. 3, 2, 1, and then look away. Kind of just like look up this way. Yeah, and kind of like zone out a little bit. Actually, Lizzie, do you mind holding it just like at this eye level? Look off over here. Yeah, that's cool. All right, 3, 2, 1. Look over at me with your, yeah, like that. I gotta do one with like the really shallow depth of field. We'll do one more. Bro, you can get so close. 2, 1. See how close I can get actually. Bro, wait, this is crazy. Dude, it's so sick. Something I really didn't even think about before going out to shoot was how close the focusing distance is on this camera. Once we stood inside of the car wash and I shot some really close-up portraits of Liban, I was pretty surprised at how close the focusing distance was. And at f1.2, it's so shallow that if you move a little bit too much, you'll get an out of focus image. Yeah, sick. Like right there, like yeah. Bring it forward a little bit actually. Yeah, you could like hit it from like right there, yeah. Yeah, that's super sick. Let me shoot through the windshield. Just trying to like play with the depth of this thing, you know? How often do I get to shoot film at 2.12? Never. All right, 3, 2, 1. I'm like so incentivized to just shoot with the, shoot landscape with this camera. What if I try to shoot you through the rear view? Keep looking up like that. 3, 2, 1. I love this photo so much. When you shoot through a rear view mirror, you're taking a photo from the lens to the mirror and then from the mirror all the way to your subject. So I was probably like, I don't know, 5 or 6 feet away from him, which just made the rear view mirror melt into this just blob of blur. And it just looks really cool with the red light. I mean, it's just cool. Also, your hair is silhouetted, or your entire head's silhouetted nicely. Let me shoot one of like that. If you just like look over at me, yeah. Put an arm over, yeah, like that. Can you just like put your, let your arm hang over like that? No, that looks hella awkward actually. Yeah, that's better. Put your hands on the steering wheel, like just one on top. Yeah, like that. All right, 3, 2, 1. These images here are some of my favorite from the entire shoot. I just love the angle, I love the colors, I love the red light on his face, I love how sharp they are, I love the contrast. I think for me, shooting just straight on outside just feels so stiff, so getting a little bit of an angle here just felt really nice. Put your hands on the hood real quick. Cross your arms. Yeah. And I want you to just look at like the corner of that wash it sign. This right here is a good example of when this camera would miss focus. Whenever I would half press, the camera would just snap directly into focus on them. If you try to reframe it all and that middle focus point changes, of course it's gonna get thrown out of focus a little bit. There's definitely a setting on the camera that lets you hold whatever focus once you half press. I just didn't have it equipped when I shot these photos. So I think it's user error, I think it's on me. I'm shooting at like 500th of a second most of the time, which is 1.2.
1.2?
Yeah, it's an f1.2 lens.
1.2?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Actually, that's great if you look back up at the sign. Whoa, dude, that's crazy. 3, 2, 1. Look at me. Yeah, like that. 3, 2. Bro, this frame is awesome. I love these photos and I love the angle that I shot them at. They just feel super like fun and cinematic. They're just cool. 50 millimeters, man. It's a weird focal length. And I'll do one wide as well. And I'll do one more. Tilt your head a little bit like this. Yeah, like that. Bro, it's so shallow, it's insane. 2, 1. Let me shoot one this way. I think I'm about to finish the whole roll, actually. Yeah, last shot. Sick. Then we had Liban switch into another color shirt. He chose to bring a red shirt, which on film always looks super vibrant and really pops out of the frame. So I was really happy that he chose that color. I actually like how you have your hand like that. What if you kind of just like look like in this area here? What if you just like lean up against this and do like a wide stance?
I think I'm lame.
Oh, sick. Yeah, right there. Fist under your chin like that, and then don't look at me. Like, yeah. All right, 3, 2, 1. Look at me. 3, 2, 1. Drop your hands. Put them behind your back, but do this like type of thing. Yeah, that's cool. 3, 2, 1. One more. Ooh, 3, 2, 1. These images that we lit with like a slightly pinkish warm white light came out really nice in my opinion. The focus is kind of soft on the close-ups, but on these mid-range, you know, waist up shots, I think that they're really cool. They look very studio-esque outside and I like that. Lastly, I wanted to try just a couple double exposures, and this camera has a really cool multiple exposure setting where you just hold down the mode button and this other button at the bottom, and you can just choose between 1 exposure and 9 exposures on the same frame. Look over at me, just like look this way a little bit like that, yeah. All right, let's see. 3, 2, 1. Okay, and then I get to do one more. Let's see. Where were you in the frame? I'm trying to remember. I get a little lower. Yeah, that's it. All right. Bro, why was the shutter so slow?
It sounded slow.
That's so interesting. Now it's just back to normal. The reason it sounded different was because it didn't have the advance in there as well, okay. I guess. That one sounded normal. So it definitely was doing something different. That's so cool. Like literally all you do is just like, see it says double exposure right there? You just hold these down and then just choose how many. Bro, you could go up to 9. Just do 2, 3, 2, 1. And then look at the fence over here. Yeah, so you don't have to look at. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. Bro, that's so cool. I think I'm done, guys. This first double exposure turned out pretty good. I think that it's a little bit distracting and messy, but it's still cool that I was able to get the two images to overlap in a somewhat complementary way. It's almost framed perfectly. The second one, I clearly decided to just use blue light, and I really love this one because I framed it so that Liban was in one side of the frame in one and the other side of the frame in the other. One where his face is just completely underexposed and the other where his face is what's exposed properly, just completely blue. And it actually looks so cool in my opinion. I really, really like this one. I wish I knew about this feature for the last 2 years of me owning it because I would have definitely brought it to the studio and just gone crazy. But now that I know it exists, I'm definitely gonna be using it quite a bit because it was super easy to use, super intuitive. I loved it. There was no doubt that this camera would perform well at night with a lens that stops down to f1.2, but nonetheless, it's always fun to get out and shoot little videos like this because I probably wouldn't have thought to go do this shoot on a whim if I hadn't been wanting to make a video about it. I honestly love so many of these photos and they look so beautiful, like full screen on my computer. I'm definitely gonna have to print a couple of them because, you know, landscape photos look so incredibly beautiful printed on big screens, and typically they just do not shine on Instagram because Instagram's built for vertical photos. So I'm really glad that I unconsciously chose to kind of shoot landscape this entire shoot. Thank you guys so much for checking out the video. Please drop a like and a comment. It really does help the channel out. And definitely go look for a Canon EF mount film camera because there's hundreds of different versions of these cameras floating around and they're all awesome. I'll see you guys later. I'll see you guys next week. Peace.